Hi there, I'm here for a tour of the school.
Come in.
Good morning, welcome to Brentwood School. I'm Ollie Adams, I'm the Director of Communications, Admissions and Development, and I'm going to take you on a tour of the school. Follow me. First I'm going to take you to where it all began. Over 460 years ago, we call it Old Vic School. So this is where, in 1558, 5 pupils had all of their lessons. They ate here, they slept here, and this was the only building that there was in the whole school, and probably in this part of Essex. There was a schoolmaster called George Otway, and he was the schoolmaster from here from 1558 to 1570, and he was the only schoolmaster and taught all of the pupils in here. Nowadays the room is still used for debates, staff meetings, exams. It's still quite extensively used, and if you have a look here you can see some of the old desks from over 100 years ago that have been put as wall panels. Sometimes old Brentwoods will come back and see their names of their relatives there, which they quite appreciate. And up here we have honours boards of schoolmasters and headmasters, which over 460 years there aren't that many, so you can see how long each of them have hung around for. And also the presidents of the Society of Old Brentwoods. Whenever you leave the school, you automatically become a member of this society, and we have about 5,000 to 7,000 members all over the world in about 70 different countries. And they help with networking, placements, work experience. It's a really good network to be part of. From the oldest part of the school, we're now going to go to the newest part of the school. This is our Bean Academic Centre, and as part of that we have our tuck shop, which is open from 7:30 in the morning until 6:30 at night, and it's fully supervised, so the pupils can come in here, catch up, do some work while they can grab a snack or a barista coffee, lots of healthy snacks as well, and this is open during break time and lunch time. The pupils load money onto this card and then they can buy whatever they want. This room is also used for assemblies. There's a screen that comes down with Dolby Digital sound, so we can show videos. We sometimes have parent talks in here as well. And in the summer we open up those doors out there and go onto the outdoor stage where we sometimes have concerts and plays. This area is used for social learning space. We sometimes have sixth formers and fifth formers usually revising for exams in here. They can bring drinks through here, they can read periodicals. And we also have a hub for iPads training. Sometimes students will come in here and share ideas with each other and also with staff. In the middle of the building we have a lecture theatre. This seats about 100 people, and we have talks in here, debates, assemblies. Again, there's a screen that comes down, and so that's a really good facility in the middle of the building. We go up these stairs, we go to our Learning Resource Centre, and it's usually silent working up here. This is our Learning Resource Centre, which is used for silent working. The pupils are all issued with iPads, but they obviously have PCs that if they need to do any work on, they can come and do that. And this is the older part of the Learning Resource Centre, the library, which has been around for over 100 years. Brentwoods really appreciate that we've kept this in its original form, and this is where most of the non-fiction titles are kept. This is our Untitled Building, where the first year are housed in their form rooms, and also where we teach classics on the 2 floors above us. Downstairs is our sanatorium, which is conveniently placed very close to the sports fields. Now we're in our sports centre, which is a great facility, and it's open to the community as well in the evenings and weekends. I'll show you our main sports hall, which we call Courage Hall, named after Richard Courage, who was a former chair of governors. So this hall is used for headmasters' assemblies. Every Monday he addresses all the pupils, all 1,200 of them, and the teachers, with school notices, sports results, awards, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The room is also obviously used for PE and games, but it's also used for house music, and we have our prize-giving speech day in here every summer. Here's a name you might recognise, an old Brentwood. Other old Brentwoods include prominent politicians like Jack Straw and Andrew, now Lord Lansley, Sir Robin Day, Rhys Jones, Noel Edmonds, to name a few. We have 2 dance studios, the Vincent Room and the Boston Room. This is the Vincent Room, and this is also used for fencing. And past that door there we have a full fencing cell, which is kitted out with all the latest equipment, and we have a very strong fencing team here. In fact, the last 5 Commonwealth champions are old Brentwoods. And this is the Boston Room, which is also used for dancing. We have a fantastic dance academy, which is run by students, and they hold the most amazing events, usually in here, but also in our main theatres, kitted out with all the latest lighting and music. This is our gym, this is our weights room. Downstairs we have a conditioning room with cross trainers and running machines and that sort of thing. You'll see that in a bit. And this overlooks our swimming pool. Swimming pool, and this was used by Team GB in 2012 for the London Olympics to train in. It's also used by our water polo team, swimming team, and the Royal Navy in the Cadet Force use it to train scuba diving. Conditioning room downstairs with running machines and cross trainers. This is used quite extensively by students but also staff. Here are the changing rooms for our swimming pool, and they go back towards the swimming pool at the end. And through here we have 4 squash courts and also another gym. We have under 19 and under 15 squash teams that play against other schools and nationally. And this is our other gym, which is used for training and fitness. These are our football pitches, and in the summer it's a lovely cricket pitch. It's a really nice scene in the summer to watch a game of cricket going on. And behind those trees are our rugby pitches. There's also an athletics track and netball courts. Behind me now is the Otway Building, which is our sixth form centre. You can see the middle part of the building, it looks an awful lot older than the others, and that's just, it's about over 100 years old, and it used to be a boarding house. We often have former pupils coming back pointing to their bedrooms, but now it's just a fully functioning sixth form centre for the sixth form, and the classes in things like politics, economics, business studies, which are only taught in the sixth form, are taught in this building. We also have a huge auditorium for 400 people. I'll take you in there in a bit. This is the Allison Building. Allison was a former headmaster. That now teaches modern foreign languages. In the first year we teach French, German, Spanish and Mandarin. And by the time you get to the sixth form you can continue Mandarin and Italian at Ab Initio International Baccalaureate. The Lawrence Building is where we house maths. That's a huge warren of maths classrooms and a huge maths department as well. We hold maths olympiads, maths competitions. Maths is a big part of the school. And then the back of the Queen's Building, which is our science building. We'll go in the front of that and see some of the labs. Let's go into our sixth form centre. I'll show you our auditorium. Our Wessex Auditorium, which seats about 400 people, and it's part of the sixth form centre, but it's used by the whole school for assemblies, concerts, plays. We've had some amazing plays here, including recently Les Miserables, Chicago, Into the Woods and Fame. So we'll carry on walking through the sixth form. If you're considering a place for the first year, this is probably a while off yet. You can see the social areas for our sixth form here. This is a poster of our leavers destination showing where all of our pupils went to after last summer in 2019. We had 6 go off to Oxford and Cambridge universities. A number of them went to international universities as well, like the University of Munster, Brandeis, High Point in North Carolina and Hong Kong University. And a few had their own apprenticeships as well at some large firms. But about 70% of the pupils will get their first choice university, and a large majority go to Russell Group or top 20 universities in the UK. This is more social space for the sixth form. We have a director of sixth form and also heads of lower sixth and upper sixth and deputy heads of year, and there's a full-time pastoral manager as well who doesn't teach and is there for any issues that the pupils have during the school day. Sixth form classroom, they're all kitted out with interactive whiteboards. Many of our classrooms have Apple Touch TVs, iBoard Touch TVs, which the pupils can link their iPads to and share work with teachers as well. We're now into what we call Library Square, and you can see our original library. That's actually the back of the Bean Academic Centre that we went in earlier. That dates over 100 years old. This is what we call the Queen's Building, and this is where we house science, biology, chemistry and physics. It's called the Queen's Building because Her Majesty opened it for us as part of our 400th anniversary celebrations in 1957. We keep inviting her back and it's looking less and less likely that she'll come, but she's very welcome. Downstairs is where we teach chemistry and some biology labs, and also physics comes through this way as well, upstairs. This is a typical lab which is used for physics, but also our astronomy club, because there's a great view out there over our sports field. And on a clear night, the students really appreciate being able to see the stars with our great equipment and telescopes. came down the up staircase, don't tell anyone. Behind me is the building we call Main School, and that's the one that has the big clock tower opposite Brentwood Cathedral if you ever come past. This now houses English on the ground floor and Geography and RE and Philosophy on the top floor. So downstairs there are lots of English classrooms, and in the middle of the building is a nice surprise. This is what we call Memorial Hall, and it houses, we have assemblies in here and also lots of music concerts and theatre productions. Recently we've had Lord of the Flies, Peter Pan, Arabian Nights and many other productions that are slightly smaller than the ones in the Wessex Auditorium. You'll also see portraits of our former headmasters on here, right back to Edwin Bean, the original schoolmaster, James Huff, who added an awful lot to the school during the war years, and most recently Ian Davis, who retired in August 19. Through here we have our beautiful 19th century Victorian chapel, which can be used during the day for reflection, but also we have chapel services every 2 weeks for each year group, and it really comes alive at Christmas for our carol service. Our chaplain is full-time, he teaches here chemistry, and he's had 3 children here. He's a big part of the pastoral team as well. Another former pupil I haven't mentioned is Sir Hardy Amos. He was the Queen's former costume designer, and he came to this school and we named the Arts Building after him, the Hardy Amos Centre. It houses design technology, art, computer science and food technology. Here's a portrait of Sir Hardy. On the ground floor we have design technology. Here are some of the projects that the first and third years have been engaging in. And these are some of the GCSE graphic products and product design projects. We have 5 workshops. This is our main one, which is kitted out with all of the latest equipment. It can often get very noisy in here. It's not being used at the moment. Upstairs we teach computer science, food technology and art. Our 2 computer science labs are where most of the computer science teaching goes on, and we teach everything from hardware, coding, software. And these are our 2 food and nutrition kitchens. All of the ingredients are provided for, and we teach food and nutrition from the 2nd year upwards.
Okay, so, come on, Jacob, I'll move you if you talk.
And then through to our 2 large art studios. Which are at the top of the building for lots of natural light, and there's an awful lot of creativity that goes on in here, and as the year goes on there are more and more exhibits which are eventually culminated in an arts exhibition in the summer. Here is some more pupil work as we go down the stairs. Many of our art students have gone on to achieve great things, not just going to art college. One has recently gone to Imperial College London to study engineering, for example. You may have seen some of his papier-mâché models in the Learning Resource Centre as we pass through. Here are our dining halls. This is where the pupils will queue up. The timing's staggered between 10 to 1 and 2 o'clock, so there's never a very long wait. Our catering is provided by an external company, and the food is very good. a choice of 3 hot meals, classic, global and street, and then there are usually salads and pasta piled high in the middle. There's a soup bar, jacket potato bar, hot puddings and cold puddings and fruit. And a free-from counter for anyone with any dietary requirements. In about half an hour from now, this is going to get very busy and very noisy, because at any one time we're probably housing about 600 or 700 students having their dinner. And the staff usually intermingle and sit with the students as well, so it's all a very nice open community. This room, which we call the wheeled dining room, separates off sometimes for old Brentwood's dinners, prefect dinners, parent dinners. This is where we house our honours boards, which have talked about open awards and state scholarships since 1945 until they finished in the mid-90s. And then we mentioned Oxford and Cambridge university places. Just here we have some of our staff accommodation. We have about 50 teachers that live on site. And for those with families, we provide them with a garden. Many of the others live in apartments around the school, which the school has managed to acquire over the 400 years that we've been here. And that gives the teachers somewhere to live, but it also gives them the security of staying close to Brentwood School, and means that they're very committed to the co-curricular life of the school. Our all-weather pitches house hockey in the winter months, and then they're converted into tennis courts for the summer months. The Huddleston Building is where we now house performing arts, drama and music and dance. It used to be the girls' school when we first had girls here in the early 70s, just in the sixth form. Girls were then introduced into the first year in 1988, but can you believe they used to have their own separate building? Now we're a fully co-educational school operating in the diamond model, which means that pupils are taught separately between the ages of 11 and 16, and then they come together in the sixth form. But they're together for breaks and lunch, house events, and music and sports events as well. These are some of the drama productions that we've had over the years. I mentioned some of them. The music provision here is fantastic. We're an all Steinway school, which means that all of our performance and practice pianos are all Steinways, which is a fantastic opportunity for the pupils to play on. And we also have a fantastic big band, which is made up of many musicians, and we go on tours. We've been around Europe, we've been on Czech and Slovenian TV recently, playing in concerts. And we have a concert every February with the Director of Music's own big band from London, where they come in and teach our pupils for a whole day on a Saturday, which culminates in a big concert where both big bands are on either side of the stage competing against each other. We have concerts almost every half term. This is one of our chamber concerts, but it's a really good opportunity for pupils who play instruments as part of an orchestra or band, but also individually to perform in front of a large audience. This is our main music practice room. It's a very flexible space, and it can often be set up for orchestra or choir, using the organ as well. And through here is one of our main drama studios.
Okay.
We have quite a few performances in there sometimes that parents will have chairs set up around it, so it's a really immersive experience. The productions happening in our memorial hall or our auditorium. We're really proud of our performing arts provision, and we were actually shortlisted as the best performing arts school in the London area in 2018. And we're hoping to become the best music department in the country. We think we're pretty close. This is Huff House, our boys' boarding house. We have about 40 boy boarders, and about a 5-minute walk conveniently down the road is our girls' boarding house, Mill Hill, where we have approximately 30 girls. So it's quite a small boarding community, but they really add something international to the flavour and life of the school. We have boarders from all over the world, Russia and Russian-speaking countries, Germany, Italy, Jamaica, Iran, Hong Kong and China. Many of our sports teams play nationally, and we're often in the final of the International Schools Football Association. We've won the netball national championships, athletics, gymnastics, equestrian, water polo. We compete really on a very high level in sport, and we have many old Brentwoods who have gone on to join national football teams as well, not just Frank Lampard. This outdoor stage is often used for Shakespeare plays and music concerts. In the summer, parents can bring picnics and picnic rugs and sit and watch their pupils perform. You might notice that the stage has only 3 concrete balls on it now, and the legend has it from an old Brentwood who's now in his late 80s. When he was here in the 1960s, he and a group of other pupils got hold of one of those and pushed it all the way down the hall and down the hill into our pond, and we've never emptied the pond to find out if his legend is true. Behind the pond is where our headmaster Michael Bond lives. He has a very short commute to work, and he often opens up his garden in the summer for garden parties and parent teas and coffee. Thank you very much for coming. It was a real pleasure to have you here. See you again soon.